Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep to find the absolute best irons for high-handicap golfers. We've got 6 popular sets going head-to-head in a massive test, judged on everything from looks and feel to hard data, and of course, price. Let's find out who comes out on top.
Okay, so you're in the market for new irons. Man, that's a huge decision, right? It's a big investment, and every single brand out there is promising to fix your slice and add 20 yards to your game. So how do you cut through all that marketing noise and find out what's real? Well, that's exactly what we're here to do.
To find a true winner, 6 of the most popular game improvement iron sets were put through the ringer. You can think of this as a no-holds-barred battle royale for the best sticks for the everyday golfer.
And here they are, our contenders. You've got the heavyweights, the big dogs you see everywhere, Cobra's Darkspeed, Callaway's Paradigm AI Smoke, the Ping G430, and the TaylorMade Qi. And then you have 2 direct-to-consumer challengers shaking things up, the Tacomo 101 and the Vice Golf VGI01. Every single one of these sets is designed for that 18 to 28 handicap range, so it's a totally level playing field.
First up, round 1. We're diving into the stuff you can't measure with a launch monitor, pure looks and feel. Now, this is all based on a reviewer with over a decade of experience judging how a club looks sitting behind the ball and what that thwack feels like at impact. You can't put a number on it, but you definitely know it when you feel it.
And trust me, the opinions were strong. The Callaway AI Smoke, for example, got dinged pretty hard on its aesthetics. The reviewer felt the whole design was a bit uninspired, almost lazy, which landed it right near the bottom of the rankings for looks.
But then, on the complete flip side, you had the Tacomo 101. It got absolutely massive praise for its clean, gorgeous look, especially for a game improvement iron. It's proved that a forgiving club can still look like $1,000,000.
So after that first round, here's how it shook out. The Vice VGI01 snagged the top spot for looks, while the Tacomo 101 was crowned number 1 for feel. But look at the other end. The Cobra Darkspeed finished dead last in both of these really important subjective categories. Ouch.
And here it is, our first leaderboard. Would you look at that? The direct-to-consumer brands, Tacomo and Vice, have jumped out to a commanding lead right out of the gate. Meanwhile, 2 of the biggest names in golf, Callaway and Cobra, are stuck at the bottom with a whole lot of ground to make up.
Okay, round 2. We're leaving the subjective stuff behind and getting into the hard data. We're talking raw distance. This one's simple. Who hits the ball the farthest? But there's a pretty important little wrinkle you need to know about.
And that wrinkle is loft. See, not all 7 irons are actually created equal. In this test, the lofts went from a super strong 27 degrees all the way to a more traditional 32. Now, stronger lofts should mean more distance, so definitely keep that in the back of your mind as we look at these numbers.
And what a difference it made. The Cobra and Callaway, the same clubs that struggled in round 1, absolutely crushed it here. They both averaged a massive 190 yards of carry. Now compare that to our early leader, Tacomo, which was last for distance at 175 yards. That's a 15-yard gap with the same number on the bottom of the club. Huge!
So after that distance round, the leaderboard is totally shaken up. Vice just manages to hang on to its lead, but Tacomo slips a spot. And look at those climbers. Callaway and Cobra used their raw power to jump right up the standings. Things are starting to get tight.
But, any golfer will tell you distance is just an ego boost if you can't find the green. So round 3 is all about accuracy. For this test, a hit was any shot that landed within a 15-yard radius of the center line. Because seriously, what good is a 190-yard 7-iron if it ends up in the woods?
And the results from this round? They were just wow. Unbelievable. 2 of the clubs in this test did not miss the target zone. Not once. A perfect 100% performance inconsistency. And right here, this is probably the most important story of this entire test. The Tacomo and Vice irons, they hit that perfect 100% accuracy score. But the longest iron in the test, the Cobra, it was also the least accurate, hitting the target just 60% of the time. It is the classic age-old trade-off, power versus control.
You can imagine that flawless accuracy had a huge impact on the leaderboard. Tacomo and Vice have now opened up a massive lead, cementing their spots at the top. With just 1 round to go, this has officially become a 2-horse race.
All right, it's time for the final round. And let's be honest, for many of us, this is the real decider, price. We're looking at the average cost per club from the 4-iron all the way through the pitching wedge.
And, well, this wasn't even close. The TaylorMade and Callaway irons were the priciest. coming in around 140 pounds per club. The others were all bunched up around 125. But just look at Tacomo. At only 85 pounds per club, it's not just a little bit cheaper, it's in a completely different category. A total landslide victory on value.
The points have all been tallied up. We've gone through looks, feel, distance, accuracy, and price. The competition was fierce, we saw some dramatic swings in the leaderboard, and now it is time to reveal the final results. So let's do this from the bottom up. In a three-way tie for last place, despite their massive distance, are the Cobra Darkspeed, Callaway AI Smoke, and TaylorMade Qi. Coming in third, a really solid all-around club but not a standout, is the pgachampionship, which leaves our top two.
And the winners, in a tie, are the Tacomo 101 and the Golf VGI01. With 24 points each, they just demolished the rest of the field. It was an incredibly dominant performance from the two direct-consumer challengers. So why did they win so decisively? How'd they do it? Well, they were the best in class for looks and feel, they delivered that perfect, unbeatable accuracy, and they offered incredible value for your money. When you put it all together, they proved that for the high-handicap golfer, finding the fairway is way more important than an extra 15 yards of carry.
Which really leaves us with one final thought to consider for your own game. When you're standing over the ball, what actually gives you more confidence and ultimately leads to a better score? Is it the promise of sheer brute force power? Or is it the quiet assurance of perfect precision?